Let me see who else is in here. I'm looking at your names. Let's see. I see Lamarcus. Good morning, Gloria. Shonda, how are you? Let's do this. As we get started, as you guys know, on drboycetv.com, the place for intelligent Black people. First thing you should know is that this place is best. It works best if you're Black and intelligent, or if you want to be intelligent. So if you're not intelligent yet, we can help you get there, but you just got to kind of want to be better. And also, if you're not intelligent or you don't want to be intelligent, then you might want to get the fuck out. So this may not be the place for you if you don't fit in that category. So I'm gonna say good morning to my intelligent Black people, and also do this as we get started. Go ahead and shout out, do the quick shout out, the morning shout out. I want you to shout out your city, your business, and your dream. Either one of the three or all three. Your city, your business, and your dream. I like to see what cities you guys are coming from. I like to hear your dreams. And the reality is that if you yell your dreams out loud at every chance you get, they have a higher likelihood of coming true, because what you're doing is you are programming your subconscious mind to fulfill those dreams. You will find that you will be headed in that direction even if you're not thinking about it. It's something I learned a long time ago. So I see St. Louis, Miami, Milwaukee. What's up, Omar? Eddie from Joliet. I'm near Joliet. I'm going to do an event in Joliet. So I hope you'll come hang out. Where I'm actually going to try something. I'm trying a little pop-up Black business school in Joliet. So Joliet's going to be the first place I'm going to do that. So you got to be there. I'm going to look for you now. All right, Eddie. Robin Cooper, good morning. Erica Rogers, blessings to you too, sister. Let's see. This headline is laughable, says Ben. Yeah, I couldn't help. I think I was feeling a little bit silly. And I basically, on Facebook, I just said that that the rapper Future compared himself to Nipsey Hussle, and both white Jesus and Black Jesus could not stop laughing, and or something like that. I don't remember what I said, but it was some smart ass title. But basically, it's the title was consistent with exactly how I felt, and why I even took the time to really address this issue. The rapper Future, unfortunately, he has distinguished himself as kind of the epitome, the poster boy of everything that's wrong with hip hop. If you've ever listened to Future, tell me if you've listened to any lyrics of the rapper Future. If you've ever had the distinct misfortune of being hypnotized by Future's music, which pretty much is what I would call a toxic nursery rhyme. And the reason I call it a toxic nursery rhyme is because a lot of the modern day hip hop, what it really does, and I pay attention to a lot of this music. I mean, I've been on shows like The Breakfast Club a bunch of times and stuff like that. So I listen to everything. I listen to Tekashi 6ix9ine. I listen to all of that. It is not hard for me because I'm a fan of hip hop. And the first thing I allow myself to do is I allow myself to like the song. I allow myself to say, okay, why is it that everybody likes this song? And I think that that's a good exercise for you, so you can learn empathy, so you can learn how to put yourself in somebody else's shoes before you just start peeing all over everything and saying, oh, that's whack, that's garbage, get the hell up out of here. No, first you should stop and say, why does this video have 150 million views? What's good about this? So the first thing I do with the hip hop, with the garbage music, with Future, whatever, is I try to understand why people like it, and I let myself like it. Now that's a little bit of a problem though, because that music is really it's like psychological crack. It's like crack for your ears, where you're smoking through your ears, because you can get to where you start liking that bullshit, and then you're listening and you're like, Molly Percocet. And you're like, why am I bobbing my head to a song that is encouraging young Black children to become drug addicts? And what Black man, with an IQ over 12 would think that this is normal? Like, what Black man, what person, what human being who doesn't, want to put on a hood for a Klansman and a hood and a robe like they remember the KKK? What non-KKK member would ever mass market a message like this to children? Seriously, think about this. The government actually made laws saying that you can't even advertise cigarettes to children. Like they did that, right? They did the damn thing. Back in the day, they had all these lawsuits, and they basically shut down the tobacco industry. They said it is dangerous for for the music or it's not the music, excuse me, well, music or whatever it is, the television commercials, corporations, television networks, to mass market to children a message that makes them believe that smoking cigarettes is a good thing. They shut all that shit down, right? In fact, they started making anti-commercials. They put billions of dollars into making commercials telling you not to smoke. Like they'll have some old person who like with no teeth. Like the commercials are graphic. I swear, I'm not making this up. I saw an ad the other day where there was a lady who's like I don't have any teeth because I was a smoker, and she like pops in her false teeth, and it's just like disgusting. It's just like, ugh, I don't want to be able to. And I know why they do that. They do that because teenagers care about looking good and looking cool, and they're looking at this lady like, ooh, I don't want to look like that, right? So it's good. It's good stuff. Like we don't need kids wanting to smoke, right? So the thing is, I don't understand. I'm just confused. I'm really confused. If you can't even advertise cigarettes to kids, why do we let people advertise Molly Percocet to children and put it in a lyric? It's not even in a lyric, in the chorus where they're repeating it over and over again. Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet. Think about commercials that dig into your subconscious mind, like commercials where they repeat a jingle over and over again. Da 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 da. I'm loving it, right? McDonald's, right? You know those commercials, right? Or commercials for, whatever it is. I remember, I don't know if y'all, maybe I'm acting old right now, but y'all remember that song, My Baloney Has a First Name, it's Loyeoscar, My Baloney Has a Second Name, Mayer. I like to eat it every day. If you ask me why, I'll say, because Oscar Mayer has a way with Bologna. Why in the hell can I recite that song just like that? And I have not heard the lyrics or seen that commercial in probably 20 years. Why did I just literally reach down into the recesses of my subconscious mind and pull out of my ass, out of just like abracadabra, a commercial that I haven't listened to in 20 years? That's because of the power of the subconscious mind. And now let me say this. I probably saw that commercial, I don't know, let's say I saw it 40 times. Well, the number of times I saw that commercial that led me to have this in my subconscious, literally 20 years later, that number of times I saw that commercial doesn't compare to the number of times that a child would have their favorite song on rotation. Have you ever noticed how many times you listen to your favorite song? What if you added up the number of times you listen to your favorite song over and over? I mean, you would probably be 1,000 times. When you have a song you love, you listen to it all the time. So this is programming. And so with Future, and by the way, I'll answer you guys' questions in a minute. I just want to make sure I'm focused here so I don't lose track, because some people get mad when they're like, Dr. B, you be talking about everything. I'm gonna stay on the point this time. I swear to God. But I am gonna answer some of your questions. Just know ADHD. That's all. I say no more. ADHD. All right. So the point here is that that this music has an impact. Every psychologist I have ever met will tell you that music programs your subconscious mind. Now, what does this have to do with the conversation today? Well, the rapper Future, he gets on the internet and just says something that's just like baffling, mind-boggling to me. Like I think it would have been even better for him if he just not said anything at all. But in reaction to, I guess jumping on the Nipsey Hussle bandwagon of conversations, he goes in and he says, basically, and let me find it. It's on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins, in case you guys want to follow me on Instagram, The Real Boyce Watkins. Hit the thumbs up button while I pull this up. I'm going to find this. And if you're on drboycetv.com, I will just share my screen so you can just, read the read the niggatry. You're on your own. Because this is really Future's music. I mean, that's some real KKK shit. Like, I'm not kidding. Racism is more effective when you put a black face on it. So here's what Future says. If you're on drboycetv.com, you can see my screen. If you're not, I'll just read it to you. It's the same thing. He says, yeah, we do need more like us. Us meaning him and Nipsey Hussle, right? This is what's crazy. He says, I've been teaching and preaching for a decade, also showing and proving what hard work and dedication get you. R.I.P. Nip. That's what he says, right? So before I look at the response, I want to talk about the comment itself. This idea that we need more like us, that really tells you a whole lot about the fact that Future, perhaps maybe he's a little slow mentally, like maybe just literally, maybe cognitively, or intellectually, maybe he's like kind of retarded, like he really because retarded is cool now. Smart is not cool right now in the black community. Let's just be real. Like being smart is like sometimes the worst thing you could do as a rapper. Like the smarter you are, the more people say you're acting white, right? So it just sucks. It sucks, but it is true. I mean, but it just sometimes it's not true, right? You got J. Cole. He proves that that's not always true. D1, very, very smart guy. Kendrick Lamar literally wraps circles around some of these retarded sons of bitches, right? So you got these artists that will bring out their intelligence. T.I. is really shaping into a great man. Killer Mike, brilliant man. You got some smart people out here, but then you just got the people that are just gone, mentally gone. I mean, just literally want to be ignorant, drugged out, self-destructive, and toxic. And what's even worse is that, and again, this is all links back to white supremacy, by the way. But like most of this stuff, even when a black person does something horrible to another black person, the conspiracy theories do kick in the sense that white supremacy is usually somewhere in the room, right? But white supremacy is what created the environment. Like people were asking me about Nipsey Hussle. Do I think Nipsey Hussle got killed as part of a government conspiracy or beef? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, it was a government conspiracy. Either they did it right then and sent the guy to kill him, but they didn't have to do that. This conspiracy was the fact that they turned South Central LA into a war zone 25, 30, 40 years ago. And now people have to live in a neighborhood where if you make somebody mad or if you cut somebody out, they might show up and kill you in front of your kids the next day. So that's the conspiracy. That's the elephant in the room. Everybody's trying to look for the mouse. No, I'm looking at the elephant. The elephant in the room in South Central is South Central itself. The creation of what South Central became. And it's a community that is repairing itself. It's a community that is evolving back to a fraction of what it could have been without outside interference. But the elephant in the room in the conspiracy is what South Central became. Property values dropping because people are being killed everywhere. That wasn't supposed to happen because we don't make those drugs, we don't make those guns, right? So let's be clear about that. So to the same extent that South Central itself, the existence of what South Central eventually became, is a government conspiracy. The existence of rappers like Future and their enormous popularity is also part of that conspiracy, right? White folks are the ones who are running these record labels. White folks and Jews, no disrespect to the Jewish community, but it's not black people that are really making the head honcho decisions on this music. They're not the ones who listen to Future and then listen to an intelligent artist and say, oh, we want the ignorant son of a bitch who's promoting mass drug use to a community that can't afford to have its best soldiers high and drunk all the time and turning into drug addicts, right? We're going to go and promote massive amounts of violence and to a group of people where a large percentage of their men have already been taken down by Bill Clinton and the prison industrial complex, right? Or they're the ones who say, oh, we want to go promote extreme financial irresponsibility to a community that is now claiming or asking for reparations because its wealth has been depleted so badly over the last 400 years. So understand, this is all linked to white supremacy. This is so when I talk about Future, I'm not really talking about Future. I'm really not talking about Future. When I talk about Future, I'm really talking about the past, right? I'm talking about what created the environment within which a future can operate. When I'm talking about Future, I'm really not talking about Pinocchio. I'm talking about Geppetto. I'm talking about the man who controls the Pinocchio. Future is a puppet of white supremacy, right? I don't think that this black man would have been the black man that he is had he not been born into a bed of white supremacy, right? White supremacist thinking that leads a black man to even begin to believe that this kind of behavior is acceptable, that is beneficial to the community. And this is and really, so if you're listening to this and you don't understand where I'm coming from and why this just this quote just overwhelmed me so much, you need to go listen to some of his music. First of all, just to show you guys, a little bit of the background. Future actually, has anybody noticed? Tell me if you noticed how rap got violent, right? That was more like during the 90s. And that ain't Future's fault. Rap just got violent in the 90s. because the white supremacists decided to start promoting the violent hip hop artists. Tell me if you noticed that, right? You go from X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Tribe Called Quest, KRS-One, Public Enemy, to like Natural Born Killers, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. We don't love them hoes, right? You went into that space of just like this really weird, like insanely ridiculous, psychologically slow and backward sort of thinking. So that's not Future's fault. But then you moved into, or at least then though, you had maybe, lyrical content that made sense, that at least made you think. So somebody might be telling you, like, for example, a rapper like Spice One, who's one of the great poets of all time, brilliant brother. He's like kind of, he has a cult following. He's like a West Coast guy, like a Nipsey Hussle probably knew Spice One on some level or something like that, right? It's like West Coast is pretty good, very talented artist. So Spice One might tell you that he's gonna kill you, in a drive-by, but he will do it, creatively, and he'll sound like the male version of Maya Angelou when he does it. He won't say, I'm gonna show up and I'm just gonna kill you. It'll be some elaborate metaphorical way of explaining how he's gonna come blow your head off, right? So it's still unhealthy. It's still a reflection of white supremacy. It's still a reflection of a toxic environment, but at least there's some sort of cerebral aspect to this, right? You got to really read between the lines to really understand what he's saying lyrically to really get this, right? But then around 2011, hip hop really went straight retarded. I like 100% retarded, where you started then having songs with no lyrics, like literally no lyrics, like the music was just like some guy just mumbling like, and you're like, what? Like, you didn't say nothing, man. Like, I don't, what, huh? And what they'll do, and they lace it with a beat. And what they do is they actually will communicate the message still, but they'll communicate it through a beat and through the imagery. The imagery will be the kill a nigga, the bitch, drugs, guns, right? So they'll throw enough in there to kind of make you associate the hood with violence and extreme hatred toward Black women, drug addiction, financial irresponsibility, and just destroying your life and living your life as a completely ignorant human being, right? They still communicate that, but it's like not through the lyrics, it's through the beat and the images, right? So like Future can mumble through a song, and I could mumble through a song, but his song will be a hit because he's communicating a certain lifestyle. Like in fact, I think he has a song called My Lifestyle, or maybe it's the other guy, Young Thug. I get them mixed up sometimes. When you start getting that ignorant space, even my IQ starts to drop. But Future actually is a pioneer. Future was the originator of retardation mumble rap. Like, he literally was one of the first guys to just make a song. I swear to God, go look it up. He talks about allegedly one of the first mumble rap songs of all time. It was a song called Tony Montana. Anybody remember that song? Anybody remember that song? Tell me if you remember the song Tony Montana. Any hip hop heads in the room? The song Tony Montana came out about 2011, 2012. And I'm not making this up. The lyrics of the song were what? Somebody recite the lyrics of the song. Tony Montana, Tony Montana, Tony Montana, Tony Montana, Tony Montana, like all he did was repeat Tony Montana over and over again. And he was talking about how he came up with the song. He said, man, I couldn't believe that was a hit. I just got high and started repeating Tony Montana over and over and over again. So on one hand, you can say, wow, that's really genius. That's brilliant, right? There's brilliance and simplicity. But on the other hand, you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. Because then what happened is all the other rappers started copying what he did. And now you have what you have now. I believe if that song Tony Montana hadn't been created, you wouldn't have half the mumble rap retardation songs that you have out in the market right now. So where does this get to? Well, here's the thing. When a rapper like Future compares himself to a person like Nipsey Hussle, it's a reflection that Future is delusional. That's one thing. It's also a reflection of the fact that that we should be concerned as a community that this guy would even think that a comparison like that even makes sense. He uses some interesting operative words in his statement. He says, yeah, we do need more like us. When I heard us, you know what it made me think about? It made me think about the Jordan Peele movie Us, right? And I was thinking about that with Nipsey Hussle and how he got killed by a guy who was from the same hood, same neighborhood, same experience, same gang, same color blue, and one is good, one is evil, but really white folks can't tell those two apart, right? And so it's almost like the movie Us, where somebody that looks just like you is completely different from you. You know, somebody who looks just like you is literally the evil version of yourself. Like that's kind of a reflection of our community. That just speaks to the brilliance of Jordan Peele. Like that title, us could stand for US, right? Us could stand for us, right? We are our own worst enemy. Who knows, right? Some would say that. Some people say that. I don't know. I know that I've met a lot of enemies who happen to look like me. I will say that. When you think, and so he uses the word like we, or he uses the term Future does. Yeah, we do need more like us. So when I think about us, I'm thinking, wow, okay, yeah, you're right. You and Nipsey Hussle, a person who doesn't understand hip hop would really think you and Nipsey Hussle were the same. They would look at both of you and be like, oh, okay, two brothers from the hood, check. Both of you are black male, okay, check. Okay, both of you are black men in your 30s, check. Both of you are hip hop artists, okay, check. Okay, both of you got tattoos, he got tattoos, okay, check. Okay, you got like a gold, diamond, platinum grill, he got one too, okay, check. So you guys are the same, like, right? So you two are kind of one and the same, right? But somebody who understands the subtleties and the nuances of blackness would be offended by that statement. They would be offended by the idea that Future and Nipsey Hussle were similar human beings. Why? Well, because they represent such different sets of ideals within the black community. They are complete. It's like night and day for some people. They're like, what? Like, what makes you think that you have anything in common with Nipsey Hussle? Nipsey Hussle was trying to educate people. You're trying to make people dumber. Nipsey Hussle was trying to elevate the community. You're trying to get everybody locked up and hooked on drugs. Nipsey Hussle came to the hood and was building in the hood and wanted black folks to understand economics and economic intelligence and responsibility. You're telling black people to go and take our money and give it all to white people so we can buy fancy cars. How, in what universe is Future the same as Nipsey Hussle? In what world can Future and Nipsey can Future talk about Nipsey Hussle and say us or we be alike? Yeah, we do need more like us. No, we need more people like him. That's what you should say. We need more like him, right? Like, seriously, no, we don't need more Futures. If we got enough Futures, if we have more Futures, then black people might as well just put chains on our bodies and just report for slavery tomorrow. We might as well just go to the nearest penitentiary, which is pretty much the modern day plantation, and say, Massa, I was reporting to work, just lock me up. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you're a drug addict, you become a slave. When you are broke, you become a slave. When you are ignorant, you become a slave. So Future's music should probably be called like oh, my boy from what's the Speech from Arrested Development. You remember Speech? Tennessee, Tennessee, Tennessee. Lord, I really been. Speech has a documentary out that I love called The Nigga Factory. And that is the appropriate term to describe the mass marketing of Future's message to the world. Is Future, Nipsey Hussle built an entrepreneur factory. Future, through his music, has built a nigga factory. So Future is mass producing niggas at the same rate that we're producing Ford motor trucks. And he's producing niggas on a global scale at an unbelievable level in an industrialized capacity. And we're producing industrial strength super niggas that are coming out right out of Future's music, where Future is the Pied Piper that's mass producing the niggatry that puts men like Nipsey Hussle in danger, right? Because a person who thinks like Nipsey Hussle would never have murdered Nipsey Hussle. A person who thinks just like him would never murder a man like him. Do you follow what I'm saying? If you really were a person that said, man, I like Nipsey Hussle, I like what he represents, I like what he's doing in the hood, he's really building up the community, then a person who thinks like that, who follows and subscribes to that ideology, is not going to be like, oh, that motherfucker disrespected me, I'm gonna blow that nigga away in front of his kids. Like a person who follows Nipsey Hussle and likes him would never go kill a person who thinks like a Nipsey Hussle. However, a person who thinks like Future could do something like that, right? So a person who thinks like Future feels that it's okay for a black man to die. The nigga had to die because he took my chain, right? Somebody who thinks like Future would want to go rob you to get more money because he needs money because he's hooked on Molly Percocet. When you hooked on drugs, drug addicts do things like that. They kill people in front of their kids so they can go and buy more drugs. You have to. That's what being a slave is all about. You got to support your drug addiction, right? So ultimately, just that first sentence is very deep. Yeah, we do need more like us. That right there tells me that his brain is kind of somewhere else. And then he's it's so great. He's like a science experiment. I swear to God, I love analyzing Future because there's so much there in terms of what makes him into what he is. Do me a favor. He's such a perfect storm of complete niggatry that it's like you can literally write a whole dissertation on it. I swear to God. Hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're on drboystv.com or anywhere else on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else, I want to say thank you guys for joining us today. Just know this is the space for intelligent black people. We are on iTunes now and SoundCloud. So if you want to listen to the podcast on your way to work, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of content that I put out, and sometimes I'm going to offend you, but my goal is to make you think. I don't care about telling you what to think. I don't care about you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. I just want you to process and think for yourself so you can make your own decisions. So please feel free to follow us on iTunes. Also, if you want to get a text alert when we go live, please text the word voice to 31996. Text voice to 31996. There's my man, Ken Williams. It is so good to see you, Ken. Ken is a former police officer, but he is definitely one of the good ones. And I have so much respect for you. And I want to make sure everybody hears me say that. All right. And Vicky Dillard also. I see you in there, Vicky, and Dual Victory. I love those sisters a lot. Okay. So here's what else he says. The rapper Future, we're talking about the rapper Future, who decided to compare himself to Nipsey Hussle, which is just an absolute complete abomination. Like Jesus doesn't compare himself to Satan. Like that just wouldn't make any sense. Now would it? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. He says that this is what he says. So he says, yeah, we do need more like us. I'm sharing my screen on Dr. Boyce TV so you guys can see the tweet. He says, I've been teaching and preaching for a decade. So Future has been teaching and preaching for a decade, also showing and proving what hard work and dedication get you. Okay. I'm gonna focus on the first part about teaching and preaching. That's a fascinating statement that he made. Just interesting, very interesting. There's actually something that I don't want to just diss the brother completely, even though I don't think Future and I will ever be having dinner anytime soon. And I get calls, just so you guys know, I've gotten calls from rappers saying, hey, Doc, you got to be careful. People going to think you hate rappers. Well, I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry. But people that hear me talk, that hear what I'm saying, know that I don't hate all rappers. I have plenty of friends that are rappers. I got enough rapper friends. Believe me, I have a lot of rapper friends. People just need to know that there's some rappers I'm not going to support. I'm just not going to support. So if people can't understand my lack of support for some rappers and my full support for others, and they misinterpret that to mean that I hate all the rappers, then that's their ignorance. I can't help you with that. I can't fix that for you. So anyway, the part about teaching and preaching is really interesting. First of all, the idea that Future's just even said that just really makes you just kind of think like you were high that day, weren't you? Like you were smoking and drinking, and that's why you said that. Because teaching and preaching what? Oh, here we go. You were teaching and preaching. You were teaching and preaching on a very consistent level. Future does more teaching and preaching than I do, and I talk on the internet almost damn near every single day. He was teaching and preaching, but he was teaching the gospel of black male self-destruction. So Future really is a preacher. He is a pastor. Lil Wayne is a pastor. You know, they have a message that is more powerful than anything Adolf Hitler ever could have said. It goes farther and wider than anything Adolf Hitler ever said or did. And what it is it is a blueprint for community destruction. It's a blueprint for how a black man can end up dead, in prison. It's a blueprint for how black men can become horrible husbands and fathers. It's a blueprint for how we can, be liabilities to our community. So he is teaching something, right? And he's teaching it on rotation. And he's got wonderful support. His support comes from white supremacists who say, oh, we don't have to go kill black people anymore. We don't have to send the Klansmen on horseback down to black communities and murder black people for being black. All we got to do is send Future. It's like it's like how some of the rat poisons work, how they're like, we don't need to go and kill all the rats. We just need to give the poison to one of the rats and let that rat go take it back to his family. So then he'll kill the whole colony on his own. Right? We need to just infect one of y'all, and then if we make sure that the virus is contagious enough, then you will spread the virus, and we get to do what white folks are good at. White folks are very, very good at shooting you with a gun and then hiding their hands and acting like they had nothing to do with it. They're very good at that. They're very good at that. And so ultimately, he has been teaching and preaching. And what I'm really hoping as well, though, on the flip side of that, is that, I'm hoping that maybe the rapper Future is, a guy who is sort of reflecting, right? Who's literally sitting there and saying, man, Nipsey Hussle got all this respect from all these people because of the good things he did. Nipsey Hussle got all this respect from all these people because he's intelligent. Nipsey Hussle gets this respect because he was lifting up his community. Maybe I can use the power that I have to elevate the community too. That's honestly part of what I'm hoping. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe he's reflecting. Maybe he's sitting back and saying, maybe there is a better way. And I'm probably not the best person to convince him that there is a better way, because I don't have as much patience as I should have with someone like that. I can't say, hey, come on, man, you got to do better, brother. Come on, you can do better than that. I can't do that because I get so angry when I see so many children dying in the streets and going down the wrong path and ending up in prison because of some stuff that some rapper was putting in their head when they were little because their daddy was off in prison somewhere, at Rikers Island some damn where. I can't, it makes me very sad. It bothers me. And so maybe I'm not the right guy. I'm probably not a person that's good enough or patient enough to build a bridge with a Future. I'm more of a mobilizer. I'm the person that says, no, you got to reject this, protect your children from this. We must call this out. But maybe Future needs to sit down with, like, say, somebody who's much wiser than me, much more patient than me, like a Louis Farrakhan. Maybe Farrakhan could sit down with Future and just say, look, brother, these are some things that you might want to work on, right? And I like it. That's what I love about Farrakhan, is that everybody respects him so much. It ain't like me. People hate me. They want to spit on my shoes when they see me. People either want to hug me and they tell me I'm the greatest and they love me to death, or they say, man, I can't stand that Negro. I wish he would just go get hit by a bus. And that's okay. I understand. I know that I offend people. I offend my own relatives. I offend myself sometimes. I try not to. It's just who I am. I can't apologize for that. So, but I think that Future needs to hear from somebody who has the patience to sit down with his dumb ass and say, man, you're making a fool out of yourself. You are embarrassing your family. You're embarrassing your community. You're literally a poster child for everything that we're fighting against as a people. You're literally making it harder for Black people to advance. It is harder for us to challenge what you're doing than it is for us to challenge what the KKK is doing. Because the KKK has no clout in the Black community. The KKK can't put out a song and say, niggas, please go kill each other. We Molly Perkins said, niggas get on drugs. Niggas, please go to prison. Like, they can't do that, because we would be like, oh no, that song's by the KKK. We ain't gonna listen to that, right? That's what we're wired to do that. But we are wired to inject and to absorb and to consume the rat poison if the rat looks like one of us, right? If the people delivering the poison look like us, then we will take it in lock, stock, and barrel, and we will literally get to the point where we love the poison so much that we think it's Black culture. All you got to do is, when you poison the Kool-Aid, just add extra sugar. That's all you gotta do. So if you want to poison the minds of black people, just put a nice beat on it. Again, toxic nursery rhymes. All the songs, if you listen to them very carefully, a lot of the songs that are big hits actually are just like songs that a 5-year-old would like. They're songs that you would hear in kindergarten. You know, like I don't know, the best one example that can come to mind, but it's an older song though, so it's not new, but it's kind of a predecessor to all the craziness that you hear now. But if you go back, remember that song DMX had, "Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here." I said that sounds like Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, right? And it's like a lot of the songs have this sort of they understand very well how to put a nice beat on it, and they know that they can put a nice beat on poison garbage, and they know that our people will consume it, and they also know that we're going to allow this, because when you have somebody like me who says, no, don't eat the poison, it's going to kill you, it's going to kill everybody, people like me, we get defined as haters. We get seen as people who are, oh, you being too serious, doc, you need to stop all of that. No, I done seen enough, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of the killing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of seeing our young people introduced to drugs before they get introduced to science. I'm serious. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of us talking about having 1.3 trillion in spending power and we give it all back to white people. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of it. And so I think if you're tired of it, then you got to say something about it. So speaking of people who say something about it, my new hero is a guy who I don't even know this brother. I have no idea who he is. I would love to interview him. If y'all meet this guy, please email my manager at boycewatkins.com and tell me how I can bring him in to the podcast. His name is Boosted Dash. Boosted Dash responded to Future's tweet. So Future says, yeah, we do need more like us. Speaking about Nipsey Hussle, I've been teaching and preaching for a decade and also showing and proving where hard work and dedication get you. And so Boosted Dash pops in and he tweets at Future. He says, nigga, I know you ain't comparing yourself to Nip. That's classic. I like that's gonna be like that. That could be a line you could just use to like any family member who says something stupid. Like, nigga, I know you ain't comparing yourself to Nip. Anyway, so he says, I rocks with some of your music, but you need to sit the fuck down. You haven't done shit for your son, let alone your community, and all you rap about is bitches, drug addiction, and a bunch of bullshit. Don't ever compare yourself to a man like Nip. Make sure you're able to compare yourself to a man like, and he tweets at Russell Wilson, who is married to one of Future's baby's mama, Sierra. Make sure you're able to compare yourself to a man like Russell Wilson first, MF, which, MF, you know what I'm talking about. And he says, what the fuck? What's one thing you've been teaching other than Molly Percocet, stick talk, and low life? Sit your goofy ass down. I thought that was classic. I love that. I love that comment. I hope you guys can excuse the profanity. That's even more profanity than I might normally use. But sometimes you got to cuss. Sometimes you got to cuss. In fact, if you're not mad enough about what's happening in the Black community to cuss about it, then you're pretty much brain dead. I feel bad for you. If you're not mad enough that it just makes you want to punch a wall or makes you just, upset, maybe for some people it might make you want to cry or have whatever your reaction is. But if you're not mad about this, then I just really want to encourage you to become an angry Black person. It's okay to be angry when your community is starving and dying. It's okay to be angry when the children are being killed. Like, it's okay to be angry when every time somebody steps up and does something positive, some idiot comes and takes them out, right? It's okay to be mad about that. And so ultimately, I thought that the guy's comment was excellent, and I just wanted to draw attention to it because I personally just was flabbergasted. I was like, wow, he really, in his mind, he really thinks that he is like, he's just like Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, no, he's not the same thing. Like, what? Come on, bro. So anyway, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the share button, subscribe button, stuff like that. Also, you're at drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. If you want to support intelligent Black media and to be a part of the channel, to be an investor in the channel, in terms of supporting what we're doing, and it's not a donation, we give you stuff in exchange. please go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. Thank you, William. He says, voice, we need your voice. I appreciate that. So believe me, all the money that comes in, it goes back into the Black community, goes into us reaching more people and doing more things. And so your support is definitely appreciated. Intelligentblackpeople.com is where you can sign up. Also today, later on at 2 p.m. Eastern, if you're watching live on August 4th, or excuse me, April 4th, we're having Powernomics Thursday, 2 p.m. today. Dr. Claude Anderson will be coming through the spot, and I'm going to interview Dr. Anderson, so he'll be there. Some of you were asking about the lecture that we gave the other day, the seminar that I did last week, and when I'm going to do another one. Well, if you actually just want to sign up and get access to that seminar, as well as all the others that we've done on economics and investing and stuff like that in our Black Money 101 sequence, just go to blackmoney101.com. That's blackmoney101.com. So the recording of the last seminar is in there, as well as all future seminars. And it also is a certificate granting program you can take in the Black Business School that will get you started on learning how wealth is built and all that good stuff. So let me see here. I'm going to look and see if there's anybody that wants to make a comment. Is this giving you guys the option to come in if you want to? Let me see. I don't see. Here we go. On Facebook, I'll allow you guys to come in and make a comment if you want. So what I'm going to do is read some of the comments on drboycetv.com. Somebody says there's no sound. Okay, I think that there is sound actually. Dr. Boyce, keep up the great work, says Pensy. I sure will. Thank you. Why don't you do an interview with William Darity? I don't know William Darity, Professor Darity, but I would be very happy to have him on. He's a very smart man. And I think he's a person that would be appropriate to come into the platform. I think the ADOS movement needs some unity. And I know that there are a couple people associated with the ADOS movement that, they have a personal disagreement with me. But what I want to encourage them to do is keep an eye on the big picture and realize that our movements are not about any one person or about how we feel about individual people. It's about how we feel about the future of Black America. And if we don't come together, we will not win. We already have enough enemies as it is. We don't need to create enemies within our own space. So anyway, what I'm going to do is actually, I don't see anything. Next time I'll set up the live stream where you guys can come in and actually chat. I'll hit the button early so we can do that. But I've got to get back to work, actually. I promised myself I would. But I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I want to say thank you very much for putting up with my crazy ass. And I'll keep on being honest, and that's all I know how to do. And don't forget, later on today, Dr. Claude Anderson will be through. And Marilyn says, "You look nice. Oh, you better stop flirting." Look at that. See, that's what happens. You get on the internet, people start flirting with you. I must be the black. The Black Future, the Black rapper Future, the Black version of Future. So anyway, I love you guys. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. So take care now. Bye-bye.